Money Ape did something embarrassing last Tuesday. He opened his credit card app, saw the balance, closed it immediately, and then opened Instagram. Then he opened a food delivery app. Then he bought a jacket he didn't need. Then he closed the credit card app again without paying anything. That is not a joke. That is a Tuesday. And the wildest part? Money Ape felt better after buying that jacket. For about 11 minutes. Then he felt worse. Then he opened the food delivery app again. You have ever done something like this? If you have, ever spent money you didn't have on something you didn't need because looking at your debt felt too awful, then stay right here. Because this video is going to explain exactly why your brain did that to you. And more importantly, how to make it stop. Here is the thing nobody tells you about credit card debt. It is not just a money problem. It is a brain problem. And Money Ape is going to prove it to you right now. When Money Ape swipes his card, his brain releases dopamine. Not a little dopamine. A lot of dopamine. The same chemical that fires when you eat something delicious, when you fall in love, when you win a game. Dopamine is your brain's way of saying, yes, do that again. That was great. But here is the cruel joke that evolution is playing on every single one of us. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a genuinely great decision and a decision that just feels great right now. It treats, I just bought an air fryer at midnight, with the same chemical enthusiasm as I just escaped a lion. Dopamine does not grade on a curve. It just fires, and you feel amazing. For 11 minutes, then the dopamine drops. And suddenly the air fryer feels stupid, and the credit card balance is still there. And your brain, desperate to feel good again, starts looking for the next swipe. This, my friend, is the trap. Not the debt itself, the loop. The dopamine loop that makes debt feel like the only way to escape the pain of having debt. It is a mental pretzel so twisted that even Money Ape has to sit down when he thinks about it. Every financial guru on the internet wants to tell you the same thing. Just stop spending. Have discipline. Drink water. Wake up at 5 a.m. And Money Ape tried that. He really did. He made a budget spreadsheet with color-coded columns. He lasted 4 days. Then he bought a portable blender. Here is why willpower alone doesn't work. Your prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain that does long-term thinking and planning, is slow. It is like a wise old tortoise. And your limbic system, which is the emotional, reward-hungry, dopamine-chasing part of your brain, is a very fast, very impulsive little monkey. When the monkey wants to spend, it doesn't wait for the tortoise to finish its speech about compound interest. The monkey already checked out. Scientists at Stanford found that willpower is literally a limited resource. It depletes throughout the day, so by the time you get home from a hard day of resisting office snacks and annoying emails, your tortoise is exhausted, and your monkey is fully in charge of your credit card. This is not a moral failure. This is neuroscience. You are not weak. You are just working with the wrong tools. So if willpower is a depleting resource and dopamine is the real puppet master, what do you actually do? You do not fight your brain. You rewire it. This is called a dopamine detox for spending. And Money Ape knows that sounds like something a wellness influencer made up between juice cleanses. But bear with him, because the science here is actually real. Your brain builds what neuroscientists call reward pathways. These are literal grooves in your neural circuitry that get worn deeper every time you repeat a behavior. Every time you feel bad and swipe your card, that groove gets deeper. Your brain starts to automatically associate emotional discomfort with the solution of spending. The pathway becomes almost automatic, like a highway your brain drives down without thinking. But here is the beautiful part. Those pathways can be rerouted. Your brain is neuroplastic, which means it physically rewires itself based on what you repeatedly do. If you can interrupt the spending response long enough, consistently enough, your brain will actually start building a new highway, one that leads somewhere better. The first step is what Money Ape calls the 24-hour banana rule. Every time he feels the urge to buy something that is not a necessity, he puts it in a wish list and waits 24 hours. Just 24 hours. Nothing dramatic. No cold showers. No journaling in a leather notebook. Just a list and a day. What happens in that 24 hours? The dopamine spike fades. The emotional urgency dissolves. And about 60 to 70% of the time, Money Ape looks at that wish list the next day and genuinely cannot remember why he wanted the thing. The monkey calmed down. The tortoise got to speak. Now here is where it gets a little uncomfortable, because Money Ape is about to ask you to do something that might feel like you are losing a friend. You need to reduce your dopamine inputs from shopping. Here is what that means in practical terms. Unsubscribe from every retail email list, every single one, because every one of those emails is a tiny dopamine trigger. A sale, a limited time offer. We thought you might like this. Your brain sees those words and the monkey perks right up. You didn't even go looking for something to buy. The stimulus found you. Delete shopping apps from your front screen. Better yet, delete them entirely and only reinstall when you have a specific planned purchase. Friction is your friend. Every extra step between you and a purchase is a second for your tortoise to wake up and say, hey, wait a minute. Turn off one-click purchasing everywhere you can. Amazon one-click is one of the most psychologically manipulative inventions in retail history. It removes every moment of reflection between impulse and transaction. No confirmation screen, no cart review. Just a single tap and the monkey wins again. Turn it off, and here is the one that sounds the smallest but is probably the biggest. Stop browsing for entertainment. Money Ape used to open shopping apps the same way other people open social media. Just to scroll, just to look. But every time you browse without buying, your brain still gets a little dopamine preview from the looking. And that preview primes the monkey. It warms the engine. So when you are bored or stressed, reach for literally anything else. A podcast, a walk, a free game, a conversation. Anything that gives your brain a dopamine hit that doesn't cost you money or add to your debt. Here is something Money Ape had to learn the very uncomfortable way. You cannot just remove dopamine from your life. Your brain will not allow it. Dopamine is not optional. It is as necessary as oxygen for your mental functioning. If you try to go cold turkey on all pleasurable stimulus without replacing it with something, you will feel flat, irritable, and deeply miserable. And you will crack and buy 3 things at once. The solution is dopamine substitution. You replace spending dopamine with something that gives you a real, lasting reward signal instead of a fake, fading one. Physical exercise is the most powerful substitution available. This is not Money Ape being preachy about fitness. This is straight biology. Exercise releases dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins simultaneously. It is a triple reward cocktail that spending cannot match. Even a 15-minute walk resets your stress response and reduces the urgency of spending cravings. It is not glamorous. It is not an 11-minute jacket high. But it lasts, and it doesn't add interest. Social connection is the second biggest substitution. Call someone you genuinely like. Go sit near another human being. Your brain evolved to find intense reward in belonging, in being seen, in being heard. A good conversation lights up the same reward centers as shopping and leaves you feeling genuinely fuller. Not 11-minute jacket fuller, actually fuller. And the third substitution is what Money Ape calls the Debt Defeat Dopamine Hack. Every time he makes even a small extra payment on his debt, he celebrates it like he just scored a goal. He genuinely pumps his fist. He says, "Let's go," out loud in an empty room. He tells someone about it. This sounds deeply uncool, and it is, and it also works, because your brain cannot tell the difference between the size of the win and the intensity of the celebration. If you celebrate paying down $50 like it is a victory, your brain treats it like a victory. Dopamine releases. The reward pathway for responsible behavior gets a little deeper. The new highway gets a lane wider. Money Ape is going to give you the one debt repayment strategy that actually works with your brain's reward system instead of against it. Financial mathematicians will tell you to pay off your highest interest debt first. They call it the avalanche method. It is objectively the most efficient strategy. It will save you the most money in interest over time. And it fails constantly because it is deeply unrewarding to the monkey brain. Why? Because your highest interest debt is often your biggest debt. And paying down a big debt slowly for months with no visible end in sight gives your brain almost no dopamine. No wins, no finish lines. The monkey gets bored and buys something to compensate. The Snowball method, popularized by people like Dave Ramsey, tells you to pay off your smallest debt first, regardless of interest rate. Mathematically slightly less efficient. Psychologically enormously more effective. Here is why. When you pay off a small debt completely and close that account, your brain gets a massive completion signal. Dopamine floods in. You crossed a finish line. You won something real. And that win makes you more motivated to tackle the next debt. Your brain now has evidence that this is a winnable game. The monkey saw a banana and got it. Now the monkey wants to play again. Money Ape paid off his smallest credit card first. It was $240. He paid it off, and felt something he hadn't felt about money in 3 years. He felt capable. That feeling carried him to the next payoff, which carried him to the next. The snowball rolled. You are going to fall off. Money Ape needs you to hear this clearly. You will do the detox, you will feel amazing, you will have a terrible week, and you will buy something impulsive and feel ashamed and want to abandon the whole plan. Do not do that. Here is what the research on habit formation actually says. A single slip does not reset your progress. Neuroscientists call this the abstinence violation effect. It is the lie your brain tells you that says, you already messed up, so you might as well go all the way. One skipped gym session does not erase a month of going. One impulse purchase does not erase weeks of conscious spending. What matters is not perfection. What matters is your next decision. Money Ape bought that jacket. The one from the beginning of this video. He acknowledged it. He did not shame Spiral about it. He returned it 4 days later when the impulse had faded, and he added the refund directly to his smallest debt. The mistake became part of the system. Your brain will keep trying to fall into old grooves because those grooves are familiar and comfortable. Your job is not to never slip into them. Your job is to keep building the new highway even when you fall off it sometimes. Every single time you catch yourself and return to the path, the new pathway gets stronger. Every time. Now Money Ape wants to talk to you about something a little bigger than credit cards. There are 2 kinds of bananas in this world. The first kind is the golden banana. It is shiny, it is right there, it smells incredible, and it gives you a rush the moment you grab it. A new gadget, a sale you can't miss, a little treat because you deserve it. The golden banana feels like the point. It feels like the reward for surviving your life. And Money Ape is not going to tell you that golden bananas are evil, because they are genuinely delicious and life should have some joy in it. But the second kind of banana is the kind that takes time to grow. You plant it, you water it, you wait, and for a long time it doesn't look like much. A small extra payment on a debt, a wish list instead of a cart, a walk instead of a scroll, a celebration over $50 paid. These bananas are not flashy. The monkey brain does not immediately understand them, but they compound. They multiply. They become a tree that produces bananas without you having to work for each one. That is what financial freedom actually is, not the absence of golden bananas. It is building a system where the grown bananas are so abundant that you can enjoy a golden one occasionally without the whole tree falling over. Money Ape is still in debt. He is not going to pretend otherwise. But he knows now that the debt is not a character verdict. It is a pattern, a neural pattern that was built and can be rebuilt. The spending loop that felt like relief was just the monkey chasing a golden banana in the dark. And now Money Ape has found the light switch. You are not bad with money. You have a monkey brain that was never given the right map. Today you have one, and every decision from here is yours. If this video helped you see your spending differently, share it with one person who is quietly stressed about their balance. You might give them the same light switch. And if you want to go deeper on rewiring your financial brain, Money Ape will see you in the next video. He'll be the one celebrating a $50 debt payment, like he just won the Champions League. See you there.